here with
Allie Henry.
And what is your job?
I'm a third grade teacher.
And where do you work?
I work at Slaughter Elementary in the Jackson Local School District.
That's so cool. How does communication affect your job?
Communication affects my job in a lot of ways. It's very, very important. I communicate quite a bit with my students and other teachers in the building, as well as with families and parents. So I communicate quite a bit.
Sweet. And what types of communication do you use?
I use lots of different types of communication, from verbal to nonverbal to written communication even.
And in your opinion, which type of communication do you believe is the hardest?
I think I would probably say nonverbal.
And why is that?
Sometimes it might not come off as clear, and especially working with younger children, it might not always be as easy or as clear to use nonverbal communication. You want to make sure that what you're saying or the nonverbal communication is not confusing to them.
Makes total sense. Now, which type of communication do you believe is the easiest?
Probably verbal, since I use it so much every day.
And why is that?
Like I said, I use it a lot. I'm always communicating verbally with my students about, what we're learning for the day, thinking about our goals for the day, and talking about, our lessons and communicating with each other to make sure that they're understanding what they're learning. So probably verbal.
Very good. And how do you use verbal communication in your classroom?
Well, I use it a lot. Like I said, every day I communicate with my students. We always communicate before we even start a lesson what our goal is for that lesson and what we're going to be learning, what they're going to be accomplishing for that lesson, things like that. I also communicate with my students to make sure that they're understanding and they're comprehending what the lessons are through assessments and just by talking with them to see that that student and I are on the same page, and I know that they're able to continue moving on and they can grow in that topic.
That's great. And how do you use written communication in your classroom?
Well, I use written communication in a lot of ways. I use it for the students to write our goals, to communicate what we're going to be doing every day on my whiteboard in the front of the classroom. But I also use it quite a bit with parents and families. I am always emailing parents and updating them about information that's going on in my class, in the school, thinking about what the homework is, and just trying to keep them in the loop so they feel like they're a part of their child's school day as well.
Fantastic. Now, on a daily basis, how many people do you communicate with?
Oh goodness, a lot. All of my students every day. There's 6 teachers on my teaching team in 3rd grade, so we're communicating every single day, thinking about what we're teaching and making sure we're all on the same page and we're all teaching the same things. I communicate with the office staff through telling them my attendance every day, the lunch staff, communicating what the lunch is for the day and what my students are buying or packing, even the principal and the counselor. I communicate with everyone in the school almost on a daily basis, but I also communicate almost on a daily basis with the parents, like I said, sending out remind messages to let them know what homework is and emails and things like that.
Sweet. Now, during your school day, how often do you believe that you guys use communication?
Quite a bit. Like I said, I communicate a lot. It's a big part of my job. And especially, I think, with the teachers on my teaching team, we're really always checking in with each other, communicating and making sure that our plans, that we're all, teaching the same things, or making sure we're following our standards, making sure that we're, following the assessments and getting in the grades and standards that we need to be teaching. As well as, I guess, like I said, the family communication is a big part of that too, and I think I'm almost every day I have written communication with my families to let them know what's going on.
Perfect. that is a wrap of our interview. So, is there anything else that you would like to tell me?
Probably just that communication is such a big part of my day, every day, and it's so important. It's huge in my job. So, just that it's very important. Thank you for interviewing me.
Thank you for your time.